What are some things that you guys know are a waste of money, but continue to spend money on? Examples include things like scratch ticks, magic cards, fast food, phone, games, etc. I thought Harley would be awesome at this.
I got like, I just know, I know, I'm just certain that like my company credit card is like paying for like Amazon Prime TV streaming, New Box TV streaming, Netflix, Crackle, like every single like that Crunchyroll. I'd probably pay for the pro version of XSplit, and I never ever use XSplit, and it's just a recurring cost that I never cancel. Like I'm sure if I just change my credit card, I would relinquish the sites that like I've signed up for like I'm like, oh, this is just $2 a month, but I haven't been there in 4 years and I've paid every month, and it's like I just know the biggest waste of money, but I continue to pay money on are the things that I don't know I'm spending money on.
I get my debit card changed pretty regularly. It just changed again, and what'll happen is inevitably like Sirius Satellite Radio will call me and be like, hey, you haven't paid us in a month and a half. What's up? I'm like, oh, got the card changed. You guys make the cut. Here's my new card. Here's my new card. But you know, sometimes people call me like, hey, hadn't heard from you. And like, yeah, I'm not really watching anime anymore. Not really into it. I think this is going to be it for us.
Dude,
I'm going to re-up with you guys.
It's nice to use cards just for that reason, because it cuts it off. Like a year. When did Crunchyroll sponsor us? Like 18 months ago?
Sure.
It was like 2-3 months ago. I'm like, $6.95? Really? Like, I don't really watch anime, and they're still billing me. And I'm like, I thought I canceled this, and I canceled it.
Well, you just got to watch One Punch Man.
One Punch Man?
Or not.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's very good. I canceled.
Crunchyroll, yeah, watch One Punch Man. That's a good one. I'm sure it's on there.
Yeah, so that got me. But because it wasn't a credit card, it just kept billing and billing indefinitely. The worst one for us, the security system on my Apex house. When we sold the house, we called them and we wanted to cancel. Apparently, my wife, who was in charge of it, signed up for like a 3-year deal. And they're like, no. You got to keep paying us for 3 years. You have to pay this like exorbitant like $900 cancellation fee. And her solution was just like, no, we'll just keep paying monthly. So like another fucking year goes by, and I'm like, wait, what? And they're like, oh yeah, you can still get out of it if you pay the $900 cancellation fee. And I work out the math as to like the 3 years. We save at this point like $100 by doing that. So that's the way we went. And I'm just
See, yeah, I just know that it's like stuff like that like I don't know I'm paying for, and my mom is just like, she's just like so.
How about you just pummeled Jackie? Just a real beating.
Like Harley's XSplit that he doesn't use very much anymore. At least it's kind of his and available and whatever. The freaking security system on a house we sold is I can't believe we paid for that.
What you should have done is
now that is being cucked.
You should have hooked it up for the people getting the house, and just been like, by the way, you have security here, so send me a gift basket at Christmas. But if my mom got the call of them being like, oh, you've been signed up to Crunchyroll for 2 years, she'd be like, what? Cancel it. And they'd be like, okay. And she'd be like, how much did it cost? And they'd be like, well, $200. She'd be like, I never wanted it. Give me my money back. My mom is so talented on the phone speaking to customer service that she gets it back. Or she'll come in the room and be like, Harley, you have Crunchyroll for 6 years. Just has those abilities on the phone.
I was trying
like, I used to go over on my phone bill sometimes. Like I'd go over on my phone bill. I'd have like back in the day like 1 gigabyte of data, and somehow I'd be like at 3 gigs of data like halfway through the month, and she'd call them and be like, "This is your fault." And then like somehow get off the phone and be like, "Okay, your phone's getting upgraded. And you have 5 gigs of data," and they just gave us $50 credit. And I'm like, "What happened?" I just feel like I'm gonna have a kid one day, and like the doorbell's gonna ring, and they're gonna be like, "We're the phone company. We're here for the child."
We used to have it. So when we first moved to North Carolina, long distance was way more expensive than it is now. Now I guess it's free. Like, do people pay?
Yeah,
for long
it's free
distance?
in the States, not in Canada, but yeah.
But back in the day, it was like 10 cents a minute. until you hit like 500 minutes, and then it would rack up. And by the way, your cell phone plan came with like 400 minutes there. So I'd be like, all right, Jackie, here's what you do. You spend 400 minutes on the cell phone, and then when that expires, I need you to flip over to the landline, and there you have like 1,000 minutes at 10 cents a minute, and don't break that. That would never happen. Ever. Like, she doesn't track her minutes or anything. And she's keeping in touch with her family. So she'd watch, like, Buffy the Vampire Slayer on the phone with her sister. Oh. And it sounds like this is really spendy, but it was a commitment I made to her. Like, hey, look, I'm pulling you out of Jersey. We're going to provide you with the mechanism that you need to stay in touch with your family. But the complication turned out to be a big loser. Even though
I ran up a $1,400 cell phone bill one time.
Yeah. Oh, we had $2,000 cell phone bills, multiple times,
God.
like all the time, And I'd have to call them up and be like, "Look, we overdid." They'd fix it for me. I'd be like, "Yeah, $2,000 for a phone bill. Like, this doesn't seem right." So they'd retroactively apply like whatever best plan would be. And that's what they do.
Well, those cocksuckers, they didn't do me any favors like that. They were like, $1,400. That's what we need from you, sir. $1,446 for those minutes you use. And it's like, Jesus, I was just talking to my girlfriend. Like this is awful.
That, because like my thing. So like I promised her I'd. Like, she takes many trips back to New Jersey, and I didn't fuss too much about the phone bill. But she'd be on the phone watching TV with her sister, but not talking. And I'm like, honey, if you're going to run up the minutes, you can't just be hanging out silently on the phone together. That seems unfair.
Yeah, you're going to be talking about Buffy the whole time. You're not actively discussing her character arc. Get off the fucking phone.
That was my thought process. It was rough.
Mine has definitely... I've spent thousands of dollars on Magic the Gathering cards, and it's only a matter of time before I sink back into it. And like that box right up there, that blue one I'm pointing at right now, the Magic Anthology set, it's got 10 pre-made decks in it that it's like themed decks. Like there's angels versus demons, there's elves versus goblins, there's something versus something else, and then a couple of like planeswalkers versus each other, which are like rival gods basically. And it was like $150, and I was so convinced. Like, I'm going to use this all the time. I'm going to play this all the time. Can't wait. Haven't used it in like probably a year.
How hard is it? I don't know how to answer this if I were you, but Florida has medical marijuana. Can any non-Florida resident just go to a scam doctor and get his card like they're buying?
So I don't know what a scam doctor is, Woody. That sounds like that sounds like a dark.
Just a doctor who makes a business out of giving out medical marijuana cards.
Oh, you mean
you meant like a chiropractor.
So you just go to weeddoc.com and no, absolutely. So
I was about to go to weeddoc.com.
If it doesn't exist, I'll suck your dick. So
immediate Google.
Like come on, it's gonna exist. So the deal with Florida is I would need at least a temporary residency so that I could say that I was a temporary Florida resident, and then I could get a medical license in Florida. So I would need an address there.
Yeah. Hey, SS YouTube money coming back again.
Do you know that I've considered that? Like, I was like, oh no. If I had the fucking boat, I could get a Florida medical marijuana license and like just drive like the 4 hours south and just smoke anytime I wanted, like little vacations. Like that, like 4 hours is nothing.
Does everyone know the backstory on SS YouTube money? Kyle bought a sailboat to keep in Florida to give him a Floridian address, and I think the goal was to legally not have state taxes. Mm-hmm. But it never really happened because he started getting these more advanced firearm licenses that required Georgia residency and sort of stability, so he couldn't just change up his address crazy. Am I on target?
No. All right, so all memes aside, I didn't lose a lot of money, but I lost some money. But I did not have to pay the way it works is you don't have to pay state income taxes for the time that you're in Florida, which would be half the year. So you don't have to pay state income taxes for 50% of the year. So
the days you upload videos.
Yeah, sure. Whatever's the proper thing to do. And but no, it worked out fine. The firearms license never entered into it. There was just a point where it was like, we're not like saving a ton of money here or anything. We're just like bleeding $10 a month here on slip fees or something when it's all said and done. And I just wanted rid of it. And I definitely lost like a few thousand when I sold it. But like all in all, when you consider like the tax benefits, I think it cost me like $3,000 to own a boat for a couple years, something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
But no, if I had that thing still, it counts as a residence because there's like a few check boxes you have to check, right? Like a bathroom, a bedroom, etc. And the marina where I had it slipped at, you've got like a PO box there. So that's your address.
What's the lamest house you could have? Could you invest in a tent in Florida?
I'm going to look in what the lamest house I could buy in Florida is. And like what if there's a rental property that's literally like $50 a month or something like that for like that I could just have like, I don't want to do anything like sketchy. I want it to be legal. Like I want it to stand up to like the rule of law and everything, but like, I don't know.
So your definition of sketchy is a little different than mine here, it sounds like.
I want what legally qualifies.
I just want to legally pay as little as I can.
I just sublet
you're missing the point.
A rental tent with 5 other people, but it's a 6-man tent, so it's not sketchy or anything.
Oh, and I don't care about the taxes. I just want to be able to like go down there and smoke weed whenever I want and not have to drive to Illinois.
Yeah, you're not far.
Illinois, the closest?
You're not super close, but you're not far from
Illinois. Is 7 hours away. Virginia doesn't have a way to purchase it yet, even though they're legal, and it's roughly 7 hours as well. But it would, obviously it depends on which part of Virginia you're going to. Like maybe the part that's 7 hours away is never going to be any good because it's so rural. And then Denver is really far.
It is quite a trek from you, yeah. Kyle,
Did
have you
move
found...
Kyle in the end? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. Kyle has not moved again yet. He's still tracking around. Kyle, you haven't...
So he's still in Georgia?
Yeah, still in Georgia. Yeah, with oregano or...
I think I told this story before, but in my high school, there were narcs. Did you guys have narcs in your high school?
I don't know what that is.
Like people, like students who ratted on other
These
students?
are police officers who go to your high school every day pretending to be a student and bust all the drug
21 Jump Street?
That's real?
Oh, yeah,
Really?
Absolutely. We had that in my high school. No joke. No, like, maybe. No, abso-fucking-lutely.
Show me your
guy
dick.
went to our high school for like half a year.
Got reassigned to a middle school. He was so good.
To make him look younger, he wore like hockey jerseys and shit. And he looked like one of those high schoolers who was like a little more mature than most high schoolers. But he also, he was probably 21 or something. Like he could
he like fit
18, ish, and dude, the charges that he got at the time, I was like, whoa, this person's selling fake cocaine, that person's selling fake cocaine, this person's selling real and fake marijuana, this person, dude, like 70% of what he caught was people selling baby formula as cocaine and oregano as pot. That was like rampant in my high school.
Scumbag.
That guy sucked, but he doesn't suck nearly as much as the drug dealers at your school.
Well, if I found that out, the new process.
That's fraud.
Do you know how pissed I would be if I went to a drug dealer's house and it smelled like pizza? I would be livid.
If you had never smoked pot before, what people would do is they'd smoke the oregano and then not knowing what to expect or not having much pot experience, they'd all act high, because you can
people would smoke it.
Yeah. And it's my understanding. I didn't smoke pot, but
I would guess that they would realize they were burnt as soon as they got the baggie somewhere to open it and smell it or take a decent look at it. Because marijuana look, if you know what weed looks like, you know what weed looks like.
Doesn't oregano look just like it?
No, fuck no.
Yeah.
It looks.
Well, the thing is,
it's some green crumbly plant shit. But and if you don't know what weed looks like, then yeah, that's what weed looks like. It's green, crumbly plant shit. But if you know what weeds looks like, you're like, man,
That's oregano. Yeah.
that ain't fucking weed. I know what weed
It's
looks
like,
like,
hey,
Woody.
you're talking to a guy that eats pizza 3 days a week.
Yeah, you couldn't go into the world of plant life, Woody, and find anything to get past me and tell me it's weed. like
And especially with
it would
oregano.
cost you more to make fake weed than weed costs.
Yeah, like think
Like,
weed has a
Zach,
very
can you scroll
intense
down on
smell, and oregano has a very intense smell. Like if you're with anyone who's even been close to weed before, it'd be impossible to fall for it.
I'd
Its
love a
smells
lineup.
are funny because I cannot describe almost any smells other than it smells like oranges.
Yeah.
Did you know what that smell
it's
is?
skunky and piney. It's those two things combined, and that's weed. Weed is skunky and piney.
Something about smells are just so identifying. But thank you, Zach. I'm with Kyle. I don't.
Good description.
Anyone who knows what pot is doesn't confuse those, and the same is true with the smell. But in high school, maybe you find people who don't know what they're doing.
Well, see, you just throw it in a bag, right? Well, I mean, like that picture's irrelevant because like if you're buying something that looks like that, then again, I remember Jeremy bought me some weed one time. He was like, "Oh, there's some guys over here that got some weed. You want me to pick you up some?" And I'm like, "How much is it?" And they're like, "Oh, they said 80." I'm like, 80 for what? He's fucking tart. He's like, an ounce. And I'm like, an ounce? Yeah, we'll get it. And I'm thinking like,
what is it? A brick of shitty Mexican weed?
He brought me this disgusting shit. It was mostly sticks, stems, and seeds. And like I swear, like that's all it was. And trimming. I was like, come here, Jeremy, I'm gonna teach you an $80 lesson here. You see this? This is shit. The only way we can get high off this is by like cooking it, which we're gonna do now.
So did you make like can of butter out of it?
Yeah, I cooked it, made us some cupcakes.
I'm
whatever.
uneducated, so that there is THC in it, right?
Yeah. But we're gonna have to.
Why is it bad for smoking?
It's way lower concentration, and it's rough. It's just not. It's not good.
The good part of marijuana, the flower that you would prefer to smoke is the flower, the bud itself, and it's like you get all of the like sticks and stems and even the little bitty leaves out of there. You don't want any of that shit, and even the inside of like if you imagine weeds like broccoli, any of the stem that's in there in the floret, you want all that gone, and you want to smoke those like those pollen carrying delicious little things with the nut on the end of the flower. But anything else is bad. Like if you're smoking sticks and stems and seeds, it's more akin to like if you just got some shit off the ground, like some hay or something, and smoke that. It's harsh and full of like I don't even know what. It's just nasty. You don't want to smoke that.
To like a random
Plus it's weak.
Like pot dealer. I don't know how to describe a random one. Some kid in college
plug
thing.
Yeah.
Would there be like good weed, or would it be a mix of stems and flowers?
I mean, obviously, like when I would buy weed from my dealer, I knew like 2 or 3 guys that sold weed, and I had gotten to know them through girlfriends every time, and so like they had a guy. Like drug dealers are always trying to like use that to leverage into women, because like every girl wants weed and they'll flirt with you enough to get some weed or a discount on some weed, and then the guys that are actually fucking these girls now have a drug dealer. So I would usually get my drug dealers like that. And so these were like, it was always good stuff. It was always like, I would have never gotten in trouble if I hadn't forgotten this guy's address that lived like in the city in Atlanta. Because you went to his place. First of all, he was Jew, which loved. This man's got a future ahead of him. He ain't gonna fuck up. And you'd go.
Hey, if we get caught, can you represent me?
Yeah, right. You knew his dad was gonna like get us both out of this. And like go up into his
Your
nice
name's
ass,
Jared.
like,
Jared Baumgoldstein. Okay, all right.
and you go up into his very nice place and be like, so this is what you do. It's like, no, this is just for the ladies. And it's like, oh, he's just selling weed because it's a good social thing. It's a way to make connections and network. This guy's like, he literally was in school to do like a cool thing. You know what I mean? Like a respectable career or whatever. That guy was, and he was like, it was like Pulp Fiction or something, you know, where he's got like 8 different kinds of like very nice weed. And then like after that, I ended up with some jabroni that had his whole life falling apart, you know, but he was growing good weed in his basement. He was getting seeds from California and growing like name. He's like, this is Skywalker OG. Here's the thing that the seeds came in. Here's the sticker. Here's what I paid for the seeds. These are my babies. And he's been growing them in his basement. So like primo weed again. But I have ran into those situations where usually it's someone else getting the stuff and they're like, look what I got. And it's like, that's so gross. That's almost worse than nothing.
It's like, really? Because we're going to have to smoke a lot of this. Like, I went through so many different drug dealers in college. Like, there was this one dude who I like started talking about. This reminded me of him. This dude like insisted on his own nickname being Kush.
Hell yeah. And
it was like, for a while, he was the only guy who always had weed. And so we'd go over there, and he was one of those guys that like, hell, he's the dude who like melted weed into cigarette carton wrappers to sell it to me, and it was like, it's actually more economical, and I don't want to sit and hang out with you and smoke out of your jet black opaque bong with water from years ago. That's despicable and disgusting.
We had the same dealer.
Hated it, and so many dealers, like it was so great to find like a good dealer. There was this one guy I had that he did not want to be friends or acquaintances or anything with people he sold weed to. And so I would just, less is more, and bless his heart. Bless his heart for the way he did it, because he was one guy that I would, text or reach out to, and I'd be like, hey, I want this much, what can you do it for? And he'd tell me, and he'd be like, what time can you be here? And I'd be like, this is it, I'd text him like 10 minutes before, and then he would like have it just sitting in his yard. Just like on his, and I would just like open the door, grab it, and then drive away. And it was
I like that.
Tremendous.
No, I like that. No, you do it. Look, and that keeps his ass clean, like 100%. That's why he's doing it. You, on the other hand, still have that stigma, I'm sure, as you're walking up to grab it, of like, hope they're not in the bushes or the trees or in the sky or wherever.
Nope, I'm just checking this guy's mail.
Yeah, do you already have the lie in your head for when you get caught?
No, because I would have been like just dead to rights and be like, "What are you doing?" And it's like,
you have
buying
to have
drugs."
Yeah, like I would be thinking of like the lie, like all right.
I could come up with a lie as long as I didn't have the weed in my car yet.
I'm not sure the lie's the move.
You have to flee high-speed chase.
It depends how caught you are, I guess. Like in my situation, I was just like, probably should just shut up now, huh?
Every attorney I know now. Here's the thing. When attorneys say, shut up, don't say a word, right? Invoke the fifth, don't say a word.
Yeah.
That's probably good advice for a lot of people. But is it good advice for a really smart guy? Like if it's Jordan Peterson, right? Here's a guy who speaks well, who's a smart guy. Not everything he says is for me, but by and large, let's all agree that he's smart and he's well-spoken. Are you sure he couldn't do himself any favors when talking to the police?
Yeah. You're not gonna like Picard your way out of this. You're gonna you might be able to influence your way out of it, legalese your way out of it, or good old boy your way out of it. But the problem is that everything's being recorded for the record anyway. So if there may come a time where he's like, "Look, you're already in the system, dude. Even if I wanted to, that could come up these nowadays." But you're not going to be like, no, see, the problem is with lobsters. You see, lobsters always want to go through red lights, and that's what I am. I live my life like you're not going to get out of this shit by talking about your serotonin levels or how, like,
the cop doesn't. You could try a Jedi like, you don't want to arrest me. I don't smell like weed.
But you could be like, are you Brendan? Aren't you Davy's brother? Dude.
No, I don't know where I am. Can you help me out with that?
Like, if you can get your way out of it that way. You can just be real apologetic. Last time I got pulled over, I was going way too fast, and it was when I was on like double probation. I didn't mean to be speeding, but it was just a road double where probation. Yeah, it's when there's like there's like two different groups like watching over you to make sure you don't fuck up.
And like
one group's more strict than the other. Like, one group will let you drink and the other won't even let you do that.
You mentioned traffic. In a situation like that, people can and do talk their way out all the time.
I always do, I usually do, and it's by being 100% honest. When he pulled me over, I was like, "Hey, what'd I do?" And I looked worried because I was, and he said, "You were going 65 in a 25. I was like, why is this 25? It's a 2-lane highway in the middle. I was like, there's no way this is 25. I was like, this looks like 55, right? Like, wouldn't you think this is 55? I said, look at my license. I just moved here. Kind of true. A couple years ago. I mean, the license is out of date. That's all that matters. I'm like, I just moved here. Come on. This is the first time I've ever been on this road. Would you have known? I didn't know. I'm so sorry. I'm going to drive on this thing going 20 from now and flash my lights at everybody if you cut me a break here, sir. Because I'm sorry. But I didn't know. Good God. I wouldn't be going 40 over. Like, I'm not in a hurry. I'm going to Chick-fil-A.
It's cool.
Woody sent us a photo earlier, and it's his wife wearing safety goggles, and she's got a high-powered laser that looks exactly like this because it is, and she's killing these like sea creatures in their fancy aquarium by lasing them, and they're just in there just dying.
The water's boiling.
Let me just
that was real.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Yeah, because these things don't fuck around.
You're shining it on the wall behind you and show them how it can start fire.
All right, I have to be careful because I'll put my own eye out. It's one of those Ralphie with the BB gun moments.
Oh yeah, you got to have a special glass. Goodness, is that like a sponsored?
Careful! It was refracting, and it was almost
these are like
on your eye.
$50 on Amazon.
How about that?
Yeah.
Is it marketed as a lightsaber?
Did you see that when Kyle turned that on and pointed it at the wall? There was a little dot on his face right here.
Oh goodness! Oh man!
No, let's not.
Oh, it's smoking. There we go.
Man, it's gonna be great when I'm not the blindest one on the show.
You got to get some LASIK, man. It's the best thing in the world.
Yeah. I wanted it, and then my doctor, he was like, "You probably thought about LASIK for a long time." This is about 4 years ago, and I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Corneas are too thin. I wouldn't recommend it." And I was like, "Why would you lead in like that? Your dreams crushed. Like you can't. Having glasses kind of stinks." Kyle is of the opinion. He's like, "I kind of like glasses. Like it's like something you can put on your face, a little decoration. That's something that like you can just wear glasses with glass in it. You can have that style, and you have great eyes, so you can capitalize on both. And just say that it's a reading glasses. This makes me so nervous for you and your family's eyes.
Like to hold the laser on the aquarium, like it helps me hold it extra steady. Yeah. Why she's freehanding it, I'm not sure. But
she's doing it. Do you notice the refraction? Like it's literally changed, like how it dings down a little bit.
Yeah. Were there any fish casualties from that exercise?
Not in our tank. We haven't had one. But on the internet, people show pictures of fishes with like one cloudy eye. And they're like, it went horribly wrong. Be careful of this product.
Now, Woody, as you're taking this photo, you have eye protection on as well, right?
For the sake of this conversation, yes.
Goddamn, dude, please. Like,
yeah, and I'm wearing.
You're a friend of mine. I don't want you to go blind because of some stupid bullshit.
It won't get both eyes, Taylor. He can get a patch.
All of his hobbies are so sight intensive. Like,
I'm gonna be so much cooler if I lose one eye.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about losing one eye. Now, if you were good at anything, you're still good at it, pretty much. But now you're that guy who's good at it with one fucking eye. Right? Like the bar lowers for you. Everything's a little easier when you're the guy with one eye.
So really, that would be a cure.
Oh yeah, it's probably therapeutic to do it. Yeah, you never
get Jackie to take you out.
Uninteresting one-eyed person. Like nobody's like, oh, I bet he was pretty boring to talk to. No.
Yeah. Oh, no. Even that dude who's in politics with the one eye. I'd want him to tell me the story of it. Tell me exactly what happened. Yeah. What's different now
from your perspective.
Yeah, from your limited perspective. What is it?
The only thing that I missed post LASIK was the ability to take the corrective lenses off because it mutes the world around you in such a lovely way that you can't read and focus on things. Like it was very relaxing to me to be able to not see what I wasn't going to walk into a wall, but yeah, you can't do it once it's all fixed and over perfect.
I definitely don't get that. Like it would be fucking awesome to wake up in the morning and like just see, like just open your eyes and see right away. Because like even like if you have contacts, like even if you get the kind that are breathable, because now it's not like the fucking 90s, you get like the monthly ones that you can actually sleep in for a full month and they breathe through. Even when you have those are the ones I have when I wear contacts. There's still 15 minutes at the start of every day that I can't quite see right because they're like reacclimating and everything. Yeah. So unlike normal people's eyes, who like I assume you just wake up and see, right? Like normally.
Humanized.
Yeah, like so I don't get that. Like when you like I told you like it wasn't until like 6 years ago that I learned that everybody doesn't see giant stars every night on the highway.
I like how you made it a blacked out lens like that character from the fucking Godfather for no apparent reason. That's pretty
Is
sick.
a distant eye patch.
Oh, a distant.
I just bought laser goggles for the family. Just thought the world would want to
Send me
know.
a pair too.
Good call. Good call. Yeah, the I actually waited to get LASIK because that's one of the major side effects is night haloing. So I waited until after we set the Cannonball record to do it.
Smart.
Oh.
But there was at least one point last summer where I came home from a friend's party and I Ubered back and I'd been drinking and I like sat down and I had that little bit of clarity, like Kyle said, where I like filled my cart and I was like, yeah, I'm going to wait on this. The next morning I woke up, in the middle of my pee, I was like, oh no. And I finished my pee quickly, ran back to my computer, checked orders and was like, oh, thank God. And I checked my cart. I had like $1,200 worth of workout equipment. That's like Olympic level training things, like $400 of grip training. Who could possibly?
That lasts
Oh
a
yeah,
lifetime.
I
I missed the
I
beginning.
started shopping around Amazon and I deleted everything from my cart. Like what you have right now is enough. You're fine. You're fine.
I'm
You know what-
similar, but in a different kind of way where it's like I'm super like clear on what needs to be done. It's like I need to order these things because I'm gonna have to have them. I have to have them for a shoot or whatever it is. I'll put them in the cart and I'm like, it's so much money.
No, that's the best
I'll
shopping
wait.
in my opinion.
I'll wait. And then I end up freaking waiting like a week procrastinating. And then I'm like, oh shit, now I got to pay for like Amazon
Overnight
Prime.
shipping.
No, that was always the best shopping. When it was for a video, it was like, well, this is 100,000% guilt free. 4,000, 5,000, 10,000, clickety clickety clack. Like we got to have it, so we're gonna get it. There's no guilt. There's no, there's nothing there. Like somebody needs to be flown down, clickety clack. Somebody, we need 3 cars, clickety clickety clack clack. Just whatever. Just click the buttons. I had that moment of clarity this morning, and I pressed buy. Anyway, let's see what I got.
I can't wait.
I got
snap.
myself.
Wait, can I guess?
go
Cooking
for it.
equipment.
A lot of cooking equipment. I got a KitchenAid mixer, $280. I got the meat grinder attachment for it. That was $40.
Dude, KitchenAid mixers, for those out there listening who don't know, those are like the creme de la creme. Super fucking nice, like restaurant quality mixers for your kitchen.
I got the 5-quart. I got it in Onyx Black, if anyone's curious. Let's see. Where's the rest
Side
of my
note,
orders?
Taylor's right. Really great mixer. Turns out, mediocre Christmas present.
Wow, really?
What? Who said it was mediocre? Those things are nice as shit.
She didn't appreciate that?
I think she interpreted. Look, it's not so.
Like getting her a vacuum? She made
Yeah,
it
like
out
in
like
that family, maybe better
Well,
than a vacuum. But
Dude, I'd have kissed you right on the lips if you gave me a KitchenAid mixer. I don't know,
Noted.
especially if you throw in the meat attachment, the meat grinder.
I'll throw in the
Do you
meat
know I can make
attachment.
my own burgers now? I can choose the specific pieces of meat that I want in my burger, all from the same cow.
Hell
you know?
yeah.
And as soon as it's ground, it's going into a patty and it's going on the grill, which I also bought last night. I got
What kind
I got a Weber grill. I got that metal can that you do the coals. That,
You got
that
the
Taylor
chimney,
recommended.
you
Yep.
did go with the Weber grill.
I think I went with the Weber grill. I'm actually having a hard time seeing all my orders. Right? Oh, show all 20 items. There we go.
I was gonna say, what's in y'all's cart
never
right now,
heard this
and what was
button.
your last order?
Dude, being rich must be sick.
I
You're
You're
got
still in your
Hop on,
20s,
buy
Taylor.
whatever
We're
you
on the
want.
same path.
On the same path. I hope so.
I got a big.
I haven't even
casserole
begun
dish.
starting a Minecraft server.
I got I got the which grill is this? I got the Weber 22-inch copper Weber grill. It's nothing fancy. It's like a $200 grill. I got a whole bunch of cast iron pots. I got a whole bunch of stainless steel mixing bowls. I got this scraper for like my for preparing dishes. It's just like a flat piece of metal you scrape food up. I bought some really fancy charcoal that's from overseas apparently. I don't know if it's gonna. I don't know why. I got all the fire starting stuff. Got some lawn chairs. I bought some more duck fat.
All this on
That
Amazon?
is pricey.
Yeah. I got an 8-inch Wusthof knife.
Why is that surprising to Richard?
Duck fat?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Buy
Look
in a
up duck.
jar.
You can do Amazon Pantry and get basic. You can
Oh,
get
that's
fucking
right.
lettuce from Amazon if you want.
That's
I buy
right.
Yeah.
everything off Amazon. Kyle.
Yeah. That's all I got last night. Very excited about the meals to come.
So
My
case
parents
in
come-
point on me, the in my cart for the last week, I have the Power Beats Pro totally wireless earphones, which are not in stock right now. And so they're not due back till July 8th. So they've just been sitting there. I don't think I'm going to pull the trigger on it. But then the G-Tech 2 terabyte SSD for downloading slow-mo stuff, because you know, $30,000 Cinemags for the slow-mo camera are kind of but a $340 SSD I'm like cringing over. So I haven't pulled the trigger on this, and I don't know if I will or not.
The last thing I bought, or one of the last things I bought off Amazon, were blackout curtains for this room here to close all of them. So hopefully the light's not as bad. And when they arrived, my girlfriend was like, "Oh, you got blackout curtains for the bedroom." And I was like, "Guess again." Like, and so no, I don't have any for the bedroom.
I've got them in my bedroom, and I love them. I stayed up all night last night on Amazon, and then just as I was about to go to bed at like 7 a.m., I found this terrifying YouTube video called let me get the exact name of it. Let me go to my like history or whatever.
I can't sleep. I don't want total blackout curtains in my bedroom. Like I like and I need that little bit of sunlight getting through in the morning to help me wake up and acclimate. Like if I had blackout curtains, I feel like I'd wake up crankier.
Oh, I
Like,
love
watch
it.
this video called "The Unsettling National Park Disappearance Problem." It's like a 20-minute video that details all of the disappearances in the national parks and some of the things that they have in common with each other. I got about halfway through it, and I was literally afraid. I had to turn it off. I couldn't watch it anymore.
Haha, bitch.
Oh, wow.
Because I was literally getting afraid of like what was taking the people in the national parks, and my mind was going like, well, of course they're all during bad weather. That makes sense. Okay, they're all during late afternoon. Okay, and wait a minute, what do you mean you're finding them without their shoes and pants, but they're not suffering from exposure? Where are their shoes going? You found the shoes 3 miles away every time? What's happening to them? And
it's
then
a Bigfoot with a GPS to drop them exactly 3 miles away.
And then they started like laying this conspiracy theory
Bigfoot wouldn't
sort of
want
stuff
shoes,
in,
Taylor.
where like
No, you wouldn't.
where like the FBI had been involved in a couple of the disappearances, and then they interviewed the Park Service, and they like he's like, we don't know why they were here. They don't assist in missing persons things, and he's like, has that ever happened before? No, never. And then what did they say? Well, they wouldn't let us go to the scene, and it's just like oh, I don't even know what they're suggesting is happening in the national parks, and I don't want to know at this point. I know I'm never going back. I couldn't finish it. I was afraid.
You were too spooked to finish the video?
I was spooked because at one point they did this like fade transition where like a dissolve, and like they dissolved onto like a early 90s photograph of a woman's face, and something about the way her smile and eyes like faded into the frame literally made my heart race. And I was like, all right, we're gonna go watch some fucking like PUBG videos or something. I gotta go watch something like as it was when I was a kid, I'd watch like the Hellraiser or something because I snuck it into the cart. And then I'd be like, all right, time for Land Before Time after this, because there's no way I'm going to bed on that note.
Oh, when I lived in the city, I started off much more generous with the homeless until after a while you realize, like, first of all, most of these people are fucking tracking me back to my apartment, or they were when I lived there. Like they'd intentionally like get something and then kind of like from a distance follow you or something. Or if you did buy them
y'all see that walking parade float over there? He just slipped me a 20. Let's go back to his place.
The nicest guy I got food for, I got it for him because he was homeless and had a retarded body. I didn't speak to him long enough to know if the mental part was there too, but his body was very retarded. And he was like, he wasn't a midget or a dwarf or anything. He was just like, Grima Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings, the way he stands. And he's got that twisted body. The guy who whispers into King Theoden's ear, Saruman's wishes. He was like that, but literally like 3'9". Like the teeniest little hunchbacked guy that would go around, and wasn't like accosting people because he didn't have the capacity to. And he like stopped me at one point as I walked by, and I felt so fucking bad for the guy that I actually got him a sandwich and like a Sprite or some shit. And he said thank you. He was nice, but there are a ton of those fuckers who do exactly what you said, Kyle. Where the second they've got your money, the second they do this, they're either thinking, "Oh, drug time," or this guy's bilked. Okay, done. And I'm sure being homeless makes you pretty fucking cynical, but still.
I've had the opposite, like I've never been not thanked. That's why I took this so hard, and I've told the story 4 times now to like friends and family. Like I cannot believe this guy didn't thank me, because 100% of the time previous when I give a homeless person money, they're very thankful. I can remember what individual homeless people have said to me, like, "Oh, thank you so much, sir." This like 55-year-old grizzled guy called me sir, and I'm just like, "Hey man, it's hard out here, have a good day. Take care of yourself, and I feel better, and I'm sure he feels better too, because $20 buys a lot of grain alcohol.
My favorite guy was the fake like ex-Marine who like was just like, "Hey man, I'm just looking for a little bit of money. I got to get back home, man. I served in the Marine," and he like pulled up his shirt real quick to show some kind of tattoo, and then pushed it back down like, "I'm in the Marine. I was in the Marines." Like doing some
I was in the
stolen
Marine.
valor
Mermaid.
to make a little thing. Yeah, just
Love mom.
showed that. It's like, oh, yeah. That was like another common one. I need money for the bus to get back home.
That's the one I fell for. I didn't fall. Kyle was there for this. We're in Boston. It's PAX East, and we're in front of the hotel. A guy comes up to us and says, "Look, man, my hand is injured or hurt or something like that, and I need $20 to get to." I forget the details of his plan. Maybe urgent care, the hospital, or whatever. But he need to get his hand cared for. And I think Kyle was there. I know Mr.
I was there.
That's his copay.
Yeah.
You, Joe
So then he
Lozo.
pulls out his hand, and it's ginormous. Like he inflated that shit up. His hand has grown like that fucking measuring device they use on the Grinch, and just bursted because it's 10 times the size of a normal
like the
heart.
mascot for Hamburger Helper.
Yeah, it's just woo. And I saw it and was like, whoa, good Lord. And I gave him, and he wasn't like asking for all 20. He was trying to like get there incrementally. 20 was his goal.
Crowdsourcing.
And I gave him the whole 20, and he was very appreciative. But even to this day, I was like, did I fall for like the inflatable hand scam? I wonder if like all the other people of Boston are like, oh yeah.
All handy.
Well, come to think of it, the hand did say New Jersey Devils #1.
I just
look at it real quick, put it away.
But it, like it
hurts a lot.
It looked like a human hand. I mean, it was right in front of me. I saw it. I just never saw a hand 4 times the size.
It was so red.
It was red too. But not like pinkish.
Oh, that your hand says Brodeur on it. Oh, that's fucked.
Like even if they do rip you off, like if they're out there begging, they're in a bad way 90% of the time. There are people who panhandle for a living. Like I remember, and it's effective. Like so in Atlanta, there was this radio show I used to listen to, and it was real big at the time. Since they got so popular that it was one of those things where that like each of their members became like wanted by other markets, and they all got pulled away, and it was no more. And Atlanta kind of lost its best morning show. But these guys were great, and they do hardcore like stunts and shit. It was a little bit like Stern, but local. And they did this thing where they made the guy go panhandle to see how well he could do, and they had him go up against an actual homeless person. And I don't remember the details of the competition, but if the homeless person out earned the non-homeless person at begging for money, then he got like a bunch more money. Well, shit, the guy who just worked at the station wearing like khakis and a polo made like $90 by the time I made it to work. And I'm like, should I pull over and get a pan? Because that motherfucker has made $90 in an hour and a half. And it's got to be consistent. Yeah, I bet he's doing this shit every single day. And he was like, yeah, I do pretty well. I make $300-400 a day. It's cash money. I don't pay any taxes. You know what I mean? Well, where do you keep your money? Well, I don't want to talk about where I keep it, but I hide it. I put it where it can't be found.
In my ass.
In my ass. But it was like, holy shit, you can panhandle and make a couple $100 a day. Like there are people working actual jobs, and especially after taxes, They're not making near that.
If you make enough panhandling to like get an apartment or something like that, what happens? Like, do you just keep paying in money orders and trying to hide from the tax man, or like what the fuck would you do?
You have cash, right? Would you just put cash in an envelope and pay your rent?
Yeah.
Oh, some places don't allow that. Yeah, you could do that, but
if you find like an individual, like if you rent from a guy, like I had a girlfriend and she rented from a dude. You know, he owned the house and she paid him directly.
There are places that don't accept cash.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've lived at places that will not accept cash. You have to get a money order or a check or have a direct deposit thing.
Yeah, they don't want to be dealing with bills. They don't want that liability.
That's interesting.
Steal it.
I think it's literally against the law not to accept cash.
I don't know. They did it. So
yeah, I believe
on
you.
Airlines won't accept cash anymore. If you're on the plane, like you can't order food from those.
That's true. If you want a beer or one of those snack packs where they really pump the tires on those snack packs, and they're like, it's got artisan cheese and real meat
and candy.
And candy.
Every single one, candy. Like, can I just?
I don't understand these fatties who are like on the. Look, I can see if we're flying to fucking Italy, if we're flying to Australia or something, and we're going to be on this plane for 16 hours, I'm going to need a snack at some point. My blood sugar get low. I'll get all rowdy. So we're going to have a snack along the way. But when we're flying to fucking the Midwest, or we're flying to the Southwest, it's like a 3 to 4 hour flight. And all these people are like, yeah, give me some candies too. I mean, fucking adults. I never get it. It's just sit there and read your magazine. Why do you need food right now?
Yeah. I had a guy get drunk sitting next to me on a flight to Chicago.
All right, now that I'm okay with that because
I live in St. Louis, and so a flight to Chicago is like 50 minutes.
Yeah, never mind.
And this guy must have drank 5 Dewar's in that time.
Now that I've done, I've flown to Vegas. I've put down 2 drinks on a flight to Vegas from LA.
I get drunk on the plane. I enjoy it. I feel like it passes the time, and
it's too expensive. You have to show up with a couple of drinks in you. Getting drunk on the plane is like $100 endeavor. Those are like $10 beers.
No way, man. It's like they're like $8 drinks, and like
okay, I don't order enough. Clearly.
It doesn't take you 12 drinks.
No,
not in the air. That's the best part.
There you go. Dick's right. So at altitude, you get drunk easier. So
really?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
do you know what the altitude is in the cabin? It's the equivalent of 8,000 feet. I don't know why I stopped the whole show for that. Everyone stop! I know a dumb thing.
Denver. That's like that's higher than Denver, right?
Yeah,
you get
mile high.
Drinking. Yeah,
you're around 5,000. 5,000. Yeah, it's mile high in Denver. But yeah. You get drunk faster. So if I order the first double shot is getting me pretty tipsy, and then if I order another one 15 minutes later, like I'm good and mellowed out, and I'm talking to the old lady next to me. We're having a whole conversation. You know, I'm that Sky Mall magazine is fascinating now. Could I have a highlighter? I need to.
I never got the appeal of garden gnomes before.
This Chinese checkers is a must-have.
Now that I know each one has a name and personality behind it. Yeah.
I like to drink on the plane, and I always drink liquor. Like I never want to drink beer, or because I don't want to piss. I don't want to have to get up and have to piss, so I'm not drinking beer. I'm certainly not drinking their cheap ass fucking wine.
I wish I could do that. I would get sick. I can't do it, but I will get food. If you're like going across the country in first class, and they're like, "Hey, do you want your meal?" I'm like, yeah, it's lobster tails with a cheesecake dessert. Well, yeah. I want that. Obviously.
Yeah, I want the free meal. Yeah, just to be clear, I'm not above eating. I'm above paying to eat.
Oh, okay.
Paying that bonus, like that, because it's expensive food. It's like those pretzels were $4. So you fucking get like I don't always fly first class, but if I'm flying first class, I'll take the free food and I'll take the free booze too, because booze is also free when you're flying first class.
Is it?
Yeah.
Huh.
You can get pretty fucking drunk. I just yeah.
Maybe that's why my
fancy.
Cool. I want a non-drinker's ticket. I feel like it'd be $100 cheaper.
Might be.
The markup on that booze is pretty high, though.
Booze in general.
Save 100. Yeah.
Yeah. They'll charge you like $8 for a Budweiser.
How much is a Budweiser at a bar?
Well, I mean, still more than normal at a bar, but I don't even know how much. If you buy like a 6-pack of Budweiser, at the store, it's like
the store, but I in a bar, like if it's on tap, which a bud probably would be.
Oh, like maybe a few bucks.
Like 6, 3.
No, less than that probably.
And
like
then you tip,
probably like $4.
And you tip
$4.50.
2.
I always do. Yeah.
Do you tip every time?
You guys tip $2 a drink?
I don't even know.
No, I tip every time. Usually, if it's like a beer, I'll give $1 as well.
Yeah. I open a tab. I just open a tab and I tip a percentage based on the night's service, right? Because like you can't tell much about service when if somebody comes over and cracks a fucking bottle open for you. But if you spend the night and like she's polite and fun and she talks to you and like I often like talk to the bartender about the other mooks in the bar and we make fun of them together or whatever. Like if she's a good time, like I'll definitely tip a lot.
This episode is also brought to you by Frontiersman Bear Attack Spray, which you too can order drunk off Amazon.
I think I have that same spray in my golf cart.
When this showed up, I was like,
it hurts
did my
bears.
girlfriend order this? Like, and then I checked my account history and I spent $35 on bear spray. I own guns. Why did I order this?
Because you don't want to kill the neighbor's dogs.
It's like a bear repellent. Is that what it is?
It's like pepper spray for bears.
It shoots 30 feet.
Huh.
So, I could down bears. All these suburban bears in Missouri, huge problem.
I don't believe you.
You're right. It's a lie.
It's true in Jersey.
I believe you if you told me.
Yeah. They have bears in Jersey?
Dude, tons of bears in Jersey. It's a giant problem. My father-in-law mowed the yard with a .44 Magnum strapped to his hip in hopes that might help if it came down to it. Kyle, would it?
It'd help.
It'd help. Yeah.
Especially against a black bear. Yeah.
And
44 is a pretty big bullet.
Black
though,
or
right?
brown.
Yes.
Yeah. It was no joke. It was actually, I was low-key hoping for it, but I didn't get it. So,
yeah, I'd love to kill a bear with a .44 Magnum. I'm going bear hunting at some point with a bow and arrow. I'm going to go. I used to look down on that, but now I want to kill a bear and put it in and have like a bear rug.
I never said anything or insulted his manhood, but I always thought his gun was way more manly than his lawnmower. He needed to step up in the riding mower category.
Isn't the 10mm handgun what they recommend for like grizzlies if it's a handgun?
I don't think so.
No, I may have made that up.
Probably a 50 S&W.
Oh,
probably.
That's the 500, big one that hurts your hand, right?
Yeah, the 500 S&W. It's
probably hurts bears.
It hurts bears real bad if you could fucking hit them. It's not what I would want, but
You know what's even more?
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, what's even more problematic than going on Amazon after you've been drinking is going on Amazon after you've been smoking pot. I ordered 10 bags of Orza pasta. 10 bags of Orza pasta. I had no memory of ordering it until it showed up at the door in a big box. I also got high and decided it would be a good idea to order a bigger cage for. We have 2 cats. One of them is a little bit more aggressive than the other, so sometimes she goes in a cage if she's getting a little too
handsy.
Mm-hmm. Too handsy. And so I bought her this cage, and it took up like a quarter of the room when I put it all together. It was like 5 feet wide and probably 7 feet tall. And
for a cat?
the whole thing. Yeah, and I thought it was going to be a great idea until I put the whole thing together, and then we couldn't even get into the bathroom because it was basically.
Yeah, that's what a Great Dane cage is like.
Yeah, it's exactly I think what the sort of cage that it was built for is for big dogs like a Great Dane.
You need that for a Great Dane though, because they're enormous.
They're pretty big, yeah. Hutch, how are things?
Mastiffs are even bigger, man. Have you seen a? Is that what they're called? Mastiff?
Yeah. Mastiff. Those giant dogs that are really furry.
They're not as tall, but they're bigger.
They're like thick with 3 C's.
They're like 200 pounds. These dogs. It's crazy. My sister's got a couple of them, and she can barely walk them.
She probably feels very safe when she's walking them, though.
I don't know who would fuck with her with those dogs next to her. But yeah.
I mean, I'll cross the street if I see a particularly angsty-looking pit bull.
I wish somebody would do something about my neighbor's fucking pit bulls. I go out in the backyard to drink my coffee and look at the sunrise, and this big fucking pit bull is looking at me like I'm an invader, like I'm an alien being he's never seen before, even though he sees me every fucking morning when I go outside to smoke my coffee and look at the sunrise, and he comes at me like, oof, oof.
Is smoking your coffee an expression that I'm unfamiliar with?
I said
It's a
drinking my
new
coffee.
vape product.
Yeah.
He did
Hey,
not.
Alcohol, you can vape alcohol now.
I may have. I've been
Play it
drinking.
back, guys.
And so I had a lady friend over, you know, and she's a tiny gal, like 5 feet nothing, like 95 pounds, and I'm like, she's already out there sitting on the ground and like messing with her phone, and I walk out and I see the Pitbull staring at her and like growling, and I'm like, you didn't see the Pitbull? What? You didn't see the Pitbull? And she's like, what Pitbull? Oh God! And I'm like still in the doorway, like I'm not coming to save her. I'm like, get in, come on, get in, come on, hurry! And she like gets up and scrambles in before the Pitbull can come over and fucking kill her, because I was not going out there unarmed. Like what? I don't even have a big enough knife, you know, to deal with that thing.
Oh, you go with that thing with a knife, it's gonna fuck. Have you looked at the front of a pit bull? It looks like that thing overhead presses every day.
Every day.
It's got. That's the only dog I've seen with like chest definition.
Yeah,
like you'll see, it's like that thing's got pecs. It's got giant ass triceps.